Performing on the Met stage is very different. It's not amplified with microphones, a much, much bigger orchestra, which is in front of you, even though under, but in front of you. So I feel like, oh, he sounds so good. And so it's a different use of your voice, and it's a different style of performing. It's a larger style, kind of a, not always melodramatic, but a different physicality. And I loved it so much. I trained as an opera singer, so it was like going back to my roots. The fact that now they're doing these HD performances where it can be seen all over the world, I think it really is going to keep opera alive, especially in places that either didn't know much about opera or where opera was slowing down. It's very important, and to know that you had, I was doing Merry Widow in New York City and it was playing in Tokyo is, to me, the most beautiful thing. As a theater artist, we're usually held right where we are and not seen beyond that. So that's a beautiful thing to share what we're doing with the rest of the world. And experiences on the stage, they're so funny because you're not mic'd, so you're a little freer to run around and make a lot more noise and be more physical. And we had a lot of things happen, technical. We had girls who would fall down from, I don't know, hundreds of feet, and they're coming, and they got stuck in the middle one night, just hanging. I mean, I can't even tell you, 100 feet or more, like just hanging, and they were trying not to, you know, freak out, and we had to stop, and the curtain came in, and they had to get them down, and they were just, you know, shaking, and but the show went on, it picked back up, and we started again. But there's always a risk with doing something very exciting like that, so fun. Well, there's two greatest differences. One of them is vocal size, and that doesn't mean that technique changes in singing. That doesn't mean that that you support more or less. But what it does mean is that you're filling a room, you're filling a space. So the intimacy is not nearly as much. In musical theater, there's a great intimacy between two characters who collaborate together, for instance, in a love story. They're facing each other. They're singing with their eyes lost in each other's eyes. In opera, you never face each other because you must get your voices heard. So two lovers sing front, you know, one's behind and the other, and they're singing out, but the feelings can be there, and you're still deeply in love, but you're not giving it to the other person. So there's a different feeling about collaboration, and in order to get the sound out. So it's the vocal size, the vocal heft, what's asked of you vocally, very different. The second is many operas, not all, we have a lot of contemporary operas being written all the time, but operas in general in the past are based on old stories, Shakespearean kind of things, Greek myths. I want to see for our future that, but also contemporary stories of people that we know today singing, and to see what that art form can be. And therefore, if we're going to do things like HD performances where more people are falling in love with opera, beautiful melodies, large singing, gorgeous orchestras, what about subject matter? Subject matter being more challenging in the present day. So a lot of musicals are doing that. I mean, you have Dear Evan Hansen or something that's very, very timely. It's right now. I want to see some more contemporary operas and see what we can do with them. I think there's room for everything. I'll never want to give up the classics, but we need to start moving in that direction as well. I'm so excited to be back at the Met. I'm so excited to be singing an opera in Italian. To be asked back was more than I could have expected. I wanted to make my Met debut, and it was kind of shooting for the moon, right? And it happened, and now to be asked back is an incredible gift to me. Despina is a lively, fun, although I want to find different ways to play her kind of woman. And I feel like the Mozart melodies are some of the most beautiful that he ever wrote. I think the score itself is soaring with beautiful music, but I think this particular opera has great comedy, great ins and outs, great fun for the characters, and especially for Despina. She's a strong, witty, funny character. She even gets to be in disguise a little bit. So of all the operas I could have chosen to do, or parts in operas I could have chosen, it's very active and lively. And when you're on that stage, you feel like being larger than life. You feel like being in your body and very active. I don't want to stand still and just bel canto sing it out. I want to act on the Metropolitan Opera stage as a singer. I don't want to just lean on singing, which I will put all of my heart into my singing, but I love that I have a character to also play. Yes, that's right. Yes. Phelim McDermott. Yes. So I enjoyed, my first one was with a Broadway director as well. I would very much love to do an opera with more of an opera director or full-time opera director. But I love that with Phelim we will be able to speak the same language in a way and really talk things out and attack the characters in a new kind of fresh way. And I think he'll be open. I've not met him, but I think he'll be open to that. And we're also setting a very an old opera in the 1950s in a very new place, Coney Island. And so we have an opportunity to do something really different. It's going to be fun. I'm so excited that you will watch Così fan tutte in the HD production. I think that we will be able to all be together in one space by doing this. We'll be performing on the stage and you'll be watching as if you're there. It will be live, so anything can happen, and that's when theater is its best. So please enjoy.